Great Scott, Marty!
What's that, Doc?
Alright, so, it's episode...
Let's Game Ontario 59 Chrono Trigger. Well, a long time ago, because we just did 194 earlier tonight.
Yep.
Well, I guess yesterday now. This was like the first RPG that we decided, hey, let's do it. And I don't think we've done an RPG. No, we haven't done an RPG since, like, almost 140 weeks later.
Yeah.
But this is like one of the most critically acclaimed RPGs ever released.
Yep. I can tell why.
Yeah, okay, well, I can let you describe it if you want to describe it.
Yeah, so Chrono Trigger is a game where you play the very aptly named hero Chrono if you decide not to change names around. And basically the entire game is based around time travel.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, you first learn about time travel when the princess holding the MacGuffin amulet, a MacGuffin is basically plot advancing. Yeah. So steps into a teleporter and then suddenly time machine.
This game is like, it starts off innocently, you're just waking up, and like Chrono doesn't speak, so it's kind of like Link, you know, you can just jump straight in the character and you can imagine how, you know, Chrono's going to react to everything.
Yep.
And I think that's what allows you to be lured into the game. Like, you don't know how it's going to go. Like, it doesn't give you a sense of direction, and then all of a sudden, like, you're in an adventure, you know, you have to rescue the girl. So it's like a really basic setup, and the characters, they're all unique. The setting, there's no game that really looks like this game. It looks kind of like Final Fantasy, but it's got its own style. And
and it's also by the same team, so...
Yeah, and it goes through, and it plays like Final Fantasy, and it's very easy. It's well written, but not like... I think anyone can pretty much, with like a fairly decent grasp of English, can sit down.
As long as you can read, you're fine.
Yes, if you can read text off a screen, like maybe grade 8 level, then grade 6 level even. And I think the characters are very memorable.
Yep.
The story, there's like very little filler. Like, you can beat this game in maybe, I don't know, I'll throw out 5 to 10 hours, but like there's a lot of replayability. There's so many texts you can learn, and that's the coolest thing, just to see like how the characters interact with each other, and like as you get more and more characters, you can then see, there's more text I can learn.
Of stuff.
And you don't see that in so much in a lot of RPGs.
Yeah, there's like, a lot of combo text, which is pretty cool.
Like, it's isolated to like, I have Knights of the Round in Final Fantasy 7 or whatever, but it's not like combination text like this game, where they actually planned out this game like, this you can only do with this character. This is like a certain technique, and like the techniques are very diverse too, I find.
Oh yeah,
you didn't see so much, and you don't really see that so much in our modern RPGs. Have sort of moved away from
Oh no, definitely. I also like the fact that even though it was, you know, planned out on such a small cartridge, they managed to fit 14 endings into it.
Well, some are like slight variations, but I mean, it's just the scope of this game, kind of like Final Fantasy 6. I'd say 6 is probably longer, but I mean, there's a lot more like discovery in 6. But I mean, this one's short and sweet, and that's why people are like, I want a sequel, and it's 95, 96 is a long time ago. So they got a sequel, but the sequel's not really anything like the original game.
No, so people are still petitioning for another sequel.
Like 20 plus years later. So, but yeah, it's just everything is so refined in this game. Like, there's pretty much almost no filler at all.
Yep. And the music is well written. Like, it's not like some games in that era where you'd have janky music just play.
Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy 6. Around the same time, like, the music is very unique. It's sort of like the, Square's prime period, golden age, where they released so many like classic scores and classic games, and now, I mean, Square can still release something that's graphically impressive, but depending on who you ask, FF13, 15, it's not the same kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, FF13 definitely was
Mhm.
not the same kind of game, and I heard that FF15 was pretty good
Very
story-wise.
Hmm.
Like,
I've
it was
heard the
linear,
range, I
but it
don't know.
was pretty good story-wise. Like,
Mhm.
the characters feel a lot more fleshed out.
Yeah, this game is very colorful. Like the palette for SNES, like I don't know if you've played the Galliment of SNES games, but like it's very colorful, and like once you get further in the game, you see like
Yeah.
wow, each area's got its own look, but like it, I just couldn't
Definitely.
imagine them remaking. Like people have demanded for a remake of this game, and I'm like, I don't know if it's possible. Like
I don't think so, really.
yeah, like it's like trying to remake Mario Brothers, and they did it with All Stars, but like it's still not the same. Like it looks cool when they did
No.
Mario All Stars, but like Mario's got such a distinctive look. The first like 3 games that redoing the graphics, it's almost sacrilege. Almost like it's cool.
Yeah. And also just like another fine point about Chrono Trigger is the fact that it just all the characters are very individual and they all have their
Very
own
distinctive.
little personalities.
And it's the Dragon Ball Z guy that did the Akira. I don't remember his last name. but-
Akira Toriyama.
Yeah. So he designed all the characters, so it's pretty neat that.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
That's why you sort of see that distinctive style with Chrono
Yeah.
and the hair and everything.
Oh yeah, I was wondering why Chrono's hair looks kind of like
Why is this
Goku's.
like Dragon Ball Z? But it's not. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's that much like. We played, well, mostly you played. Like
Yeah.
the first 70 minutes or so of the game,
Yeah.
but there's still quite a lot of game left. Like I'd
Oh,
say, like
definitely.
90%
Fun.
you've barely scratched the surface, and now you might want to play the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Chrono Trigger versus like other RPGs from that time period. Like I beat Breath of Fire 1, I beat Breath of Fire 2, and like Breath of Fire 2, there's tons to do, but there's a lot of grind fest. But Chrono Trigger, in that sense, there's not really so much grinding as much as discovery.
Yeah,
and
and
then
plus-
FF6 sort of took that to the extreme in that too. So
And plus, in Chrono Trigger, you kind of grind just by walking around. So
yeah, it's kind of like
it's
Earthbound in the sense that you
not
grind
like-
and you can choose if you want to grind or if you want to get somewhere else. Like
yeah,
the game doesn't
you
really
can
force
dodge
you.
enemies.
Yeah, exactly. The game doesn't force you. Like you don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to like walk around and avoid it like in Final Fantasy VI. Like run away. The game's pretty lenient to let you have that freedom. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think the only thing you can really say about Chrono Trigger that sucks is that everyone I know that liked this game even a little bit is like, damn, this game ends too soon. I mean, that's the harshest criticism I can have. Like, this game ends too soon, or like,
Yeah.
I wish there was more of everything. Like sound, I wish there was longer game. I know that they did take out, I've read a long time ago, they did take out parts, but like not much of this game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the story's pretty much wrapped up. Like the sequel, you don't really learn much from what I've read. I've never
Yeah.
properly played it, but I think this game is such a standalone game that like it's like making a sequel of Casablanca almost. Like it's
Oh,
on that
yeah.
level. Like once the game's done, you're like, oh my god, it's such a good game. You want more, but I don't think if you got more, it would be the same feeling, right?
Yeah, and
So-
plus and also something that we sadly did not come across in the game yet. There's a creature which you can meet in every time period, and it like doesn't change at all.
And that's another cool thing. Like things change, some things change in each era, but then you see like the prices change. So like there's that kind of depth.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's cheaper. Let's go to this era and like
Buy these
you can
items that we
see
need
how
to stock up on.
Yeah, the areas have changed, and that's really cool that they did that. And it's been done in some games, but not that much because
Yeah.
especially in the 3D era, it's even harder to do because like then you have to design everything in 3D and.
Oh,
But, yeah, the attention I don't know how they managed to do this game. I think it's one of the biggest cartridges from the era as well, without like a special chip like Stunt Race Effects with the effects chip. But yeah, I mean that's why it's so impressive that Square of this time period managed to put so much game into Chrono Trigger and FF6, so specifically.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think it's also just impressive that they, took the time to hammer out a story that detailed for such an early RPG, because, some early RPGs, they just have such basic plots.
Exactly, like if you go to, case in point, I don't know if you ever beat FF5, but FF5 compared to 6, like FF5 is sort of like the stepping stone. If you go between Final Fantasy 4 and then go to Final Fantasy 5 and then you play FF6, it's like, wow, you can see how they gradually got more ambitious. Unfortunately, I went from, if I remember right, I went from 4 to 6, and then I went back maybe and did 5, or then I did 7 and then 5, so you don't get the same appreciation.
5 was released
with the jobs and like
in
Japan, and then
in
they didn't
Japan,
release
but they didn't release it
many
here until
years
many
later.
years later. So 6. 4. It was 1, 4, 6.
And the boss wasn't really menacing in number 5, Final Fantasy 5, anyways. So in this, I think it's really hard to create a good enemy, and without spoiling the game, I think the enemy is you're pretty much fighting for the universe in the end. That's all I can say without ruining the story for you. And that's when like this game and FF6, like the stakes are so high, and it wasn't so much in 5. Like the boss wasn't so sinister and evil. If you have you beaten FF6 or?
I haven't beaten FF6, but I know all about Kefka, and Kefka is just
I think that's
so
the thing,
scary.
that Square was on such a roll during this time period, and it's like 7 even, and like some people hate and some people love 8, and then 9 was pretty cool too.
9 was pretty cool. I
think 10 is when they totally sort of, in my opinion, they totally like, there goes.
Well, I mean,
in some ways.
With the I mean, the only thing that really kind of ruined 10 for me was the joke that that like the ending where it's like, oh, it's all a dream. But then we learned that it really wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I think they sort of like, that was the last, in my opinion, where it like was, really, really good, and then it's like, eh. But anyways, Chrono Trigger, I think we've said everything. Characters are unique.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
music's...
I mean, if you have the money and the console, buy it.
the original.
Buy it.
If you can't emulate,
Yeah, for sure.
The original game. As I said, the only thing I can think of that is the game is unfortunately shorter than, other RPGs from that time period, and like Earthbound, I think even took me like a while, like 20, 30 hours, so... That's the only thing but there's New Game Plus. So you can, after you've beaten it, you can go back and do more stuff. But even then, I mean, you know pretty much the story for the most part, with some alternate routes.
Yeah, so you can like also just make it a mission to unlock all 14 endings.
Exactly, or like see them everything or unlock everything. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got nothing else. Keep on game, guys. See you later.